Hello, I'm Nicholas Herriman. I've been presenting a series called 25 Concepts in Anthropology, where I present to you what I think are the most important concepts in the discipline of socio-cultural anthropology. Today I want to expand on a former clip I did called Traditional and Rational by looking at traditional and rational in relation to belief systems. So in this clip I'm going to talk about traditional belief systems and rational belief systems. And I'm going to be drawing on the work of Max Weber, who published an article called The Social Psychology of the World Religions. Alright, so we're going to distinguish between the two. For an example of traditional belief system, I'm going to take Ndembu. The Ndembu people of Africa believe that you can be haunted by spirits, or as Turner calls it, afflicted by shades. One such spirit is Kavula. Kavula comes and haunts you and has a kind of tempestuous relationship with you. But if you propitiate Kavula, if you use the local witch doctors and to help you, you can transform your relationship with Kavula into a beneficial relationship. So you need the sorcerers or the witch doctors to help you re-establish a fruitful relationship. As an example of a rational belief system, a rationalized belief system, I'll just take the example of Catholicism, which is a branch of Christianity which believes in God, in Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit, and the role of the Church, the Catholic Church, in mediating or interceding between the believer and God. So we've got traditional and rational. Well, what's the difference? In traditional belief systems, we have magical beliefs, beliefs in spirits inhabiting, for example, the trees, the rivers, the rocks, etc., which is sometimes known as animism. Whereas in rational belief systems, as belief systems become increasingly rationalized, the beliefs are focused on a single God or deity. So God in Catholicism, Allah in Islam, for example. Now here's a big difference. In traditional systems, the approach to problems in life is piecemeal, whereas in rational, it's universal. Now, what are problems in life? Say, for example, I'm diagnosed with cancer. Why does this happen to me? I'm young, I don't deserve it, blah, blah, blah. In a traditional belief system, I attribute this to, for example, there's a ghost in the cemetery next door, or the Kavula spirit has a bad relationship with me, or the rock spirit in the ocean causes this to happen to me, or the witch next door or sorcerer next door is the problem. So for every problem there's a different kind of response. If there's a bad harvest, it's because the god of the rains is unhappy, etc., etc. So single problems, single responses or explanations. Single problems, many different kinds of answers. So we call this kind of piecemeal approach, a piecemeal approach. So Venus is in the sky tonight, so I will fall in love, that kind of stuff. Now, in a rational belief system, take for example Catholicism, for all the different kinds of things that happen and need explanation, problems of meaning like why I get cancer, why my car ran out, stopped working, we attribute it to God. It's God's will. And God, in his inscrutable ways, has planned that I should suffer, or whatever it might be. So on one hand, you get piecemeal approaches in traditional belief systems. In rationalized systems, you have universal answers. And the kinds of problems we're answering here, by the way, it's called a theodicy, providing answers to the biggest questions in life, problems of meaning, where I got something I didn't deserve. I got cancer when I didn't deserve it. She fell out of love with me. I didn't deserve it. So when you feel like you don't deserve something, typically that's a question which anthropologists call theodicy. And just a word of caution, we use it slightly different to the way it's used in philosophy. Okay, now moving on. So we've had difference in beliefs, difference in theodicy. Now also it's a difference in the way to ensure good fortune. As I mentioned, for traditional systems, you propitiate or give offerings, for example. So it's to, and you do it to protect yourself, the individual typically, or the family. Now, you can do this in Catholicism. You pray to God or pray to Mary, whatever, to help you. But the general focus of the religion is the salvation of the entire religious community. The general focus is the salvation of the entire community. Jesus will come down, there'll be rapture, and all the righteous souls will be saved. Okay, so that's another difference. The individual or the family or small scale as opposed to a community or a brotherhood of believers. Another difference I want to focus on is that in traditional belief systems, the beliefs relate to the here and now. My single problems right now that I've got to deal with, the car's not working, I've got cancer. Whereas the focus in rational belief systems is on the hereafter. A couple more I'll talk about. One is the question of intercession. Now, in traditional systems, you have a direct relationship with the spirits or the ghosts or whatever. You can relate with them directly. In Catholicism, you need a special class of people, a formally trained priesthood to intercede between you and God. Whereas in the traditional system, it's like somebody who's innately capable, like a shaman, a healer, a medium, for example. Look, there are other ways that using a Weberian approach we can distinguish, but I'll leave it at what I've talked about now, which is a belief in magic and spirits as opposed to a single God, a piecemeal approach to problems as opposed to a universal, satisfying individual or sort of family needs as opposed to satisfying the entire salvation for the entire community, a focus on the here and now as opposed to a focus on the hereafter, the intercession, no intercession for traditional, intercession for rational sorcerers, shamans, etc. For traditional, for rationals, there's a formally trained priesthood, ulama, etc. Look, we can critique these ideas, there's more to be said about them, but I think I'll just leave it at that. To read more about it, please look at Weber's Social Psychology of the World Religion, Geertz's Internal Conversion, my favourite history, which is Reed's Southeast Asia in the Time of Commerce. Have a look at his chapter, A Religious Revolution. Okay, thanks for your attention and look forward to seeing you for more 25 concepts in anthropology.